Hi, I'm Vanessa. I've been with the Jill Biggs Group for 9 years as an agent. And today we're here for our summer seller webinar. And this is my colleague, Jeremy Lindberg.
Just colleague?
Yeah, today
Wow.
you're just a colleague.
Wow, okay. I'm Jeremy. I've been with the Jill Biggs Group for 10 years, and we are going to discuss selling in the summer and some of the myths around that.
Let's get into it. Let's start with the big one. What's actually happening with interest rates right now in New Jersey, and what does that mean for sellers? We get asked this a lot.
Interest rates are high, not high historically, but high compared to the last few years, last decade. So we're in the 6%, and a lot of people who own right now have 2%, 3%, 4% interest rates. So what's happening is those people are not looking at their next move as something exciting because they're going to jump from a lower interest rate to a higher interest rate.
Yep. As is the case with me too. We all refinanced during COVID, or people bought during COVID, and they're sitting on these really low interest rates, and there's no motivation to sell because they're looking at what their bottom line would be if they were to buy at 7% almost, and it's a huge sticker shock. So we're dealing with an inventory crisis. So to that effect, now is a great time to sell.
There's not a lot on the market. You don't have a lot of competition right now as a seller because people are not jumping in as they normally would. Families upgrading, moving to the suburbs, or getting a bigger space. It's just not happening as quickly right now because people are holding on to the properties that they already own at those lower interest rates. At the same time, we have buyers out there, a huge demand. A lot of them are first-time buyers, and they don't know the difference between this percent or that percent. They're not comparing interest rates. They just know right now what their buying power is at the current interest rate. So they're ready to go, but a lot of sellers might be ready to go, but are waiting.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that summer buyers aren't serious. And we're here to bust that because that's not true.
No.
In fact, those who are really out and about in the summers are the ones who are truly thinking about moving. Everybody else is vacationing on the beaches and out and about, and buying may not be priority for some of those people, but those who are out there who are coming to our open houses on weekends in the summers are definitely serious buyers.
Yeah, if they have kids, they're very serious because they want to move by the end of summer before the kids go back to school. If they're pregnant, super serious because they want to move with plenty of time to get settled before that baby comes. So like Vanessa said, if you're not at the beach right now, you're a serious buyer on a weekend. Like those people making appointments are really, really looking at property and they want to make a move.
And so, and a lot of sellers think that it's not a great time to sell, but we've seen it otherwise. We've had bidding wars in the summer. We've had, a lot of interest in the summer as well, and really motivated buyers out there a lot of the times. And it has changed year after year, especially after COVID, because our market changes every quarter. So it used to be very seasonal, but now summer could be a very busy season. We did actually a lot of business last summer. We were very, very busy last summer.
Yeah.
And then, it kind of goes any which direction, but for the last 4 years, we've not seen a slow summer, I think.
No, it slows down in August a bit because everyone kind of takes a break before, everyone sort of realizes that summer's coming to an end, so they want to get their last trip in, last vacation, whatever. But right now, we're in June. Like you can still buy a property right now and close before Labor Day, so no problem at all. In fact, stuff's going under. I put something under contract today for July 30th. So
congrats.
Thanks. There's plenty of time to still move this summer. There's plenty of time to sell.
Yeah, definitely. And so can we break down what's happening right now, like in Hoboken, Jersey City and Northern Jersey in general?
From what I have seen lately, I think there's a little bit more inventory in Jersey City. Jersey City's huge. So you have a lot of different neighborhoods, depending on where you're looking. Downtown has a little bit more inventory than Hoboken. Hoboken is really tough right now for buyers. There just is not a lot to look at. I have a lot of buyers who are super specific about what they need. That is not existing on the market right now. So if you have something unique, you have a great 2-bedroom with outdoor space and parking, or you have a 3-bedroom, or you have something that is different to just a cookie cutter place, it's a great time to sell because there are plenty
100%.
of people looking for that.
100%.
Especially in Hoboken. Downtown Jersey City totally depends. Like you have people looking for high rises, you have people looking for houses, you have people looking for condos in smaller boutique buildings, and all of that exists there. There's just a lot less than usual. And as far as I can tell, the suburbs, northern New Jersey is still just sort of crazy.
It's always crazy.
Yeah, things just going way over asking, and you have an open house and all of a sudden there's tons of people showing up just for one open house, and you can expect multiple offers and you can expect them way over asking.
Yeah, give them your blood, sweat, and tears. That's how it is. So another thing that we get asked a lot, like, I think I'll wait until fall and the market's going to be better. Like, that's something that sellers always tell us. So is there a measurable cost, or do you think an advantage to delaying and waiting till the fall market?
I think it depends on who you are and the reason that you're selling. If you're thinking about selling your property, why wait? Like if you know what that next move is and you know where you're going, you know what you want next, why are you going to wait for however long and keep thinking about it? It doesn't make sense to me. Like if I was ready to go, I would just want to go, get it over with, get it done.
Yeah.
And we know what it is right now.
We don't know what's to come.
I can't tell you if the buyers are going to be there in September and October.
Right.
It depends on, the world that we live in. So so
many different things.
Some years they come back.
Yeah.
Some years after Labor Day, you have this huge rush of people. September and October, super busy. Everyone wants to close before the holidays and move. Last year, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen, because of, I think, the elections, a lot of different factors in politics, whatever the environment does around us. Sometimes it's something else completely, and sometimes it's the pandemic. Anything can happen and we can't predict that. So waiting is never a good idea, in my opinion, especially.
Yeah, if the market's good, go for it.
Absolutely. And then another seller myth is rates will drop soon. So if I wait, I will get a lot more money and it will be a much smarter move.
Okay. So how long?
And we've been hearing that a lot.
Right. So how long have you been waiting for rates to drop? 1 year? 2 years? 3 years? Have they dropped? No.
No.
Are they going to drop? No.
We don't know.
I mean, they might drop a little, but chances are, we've been told by experts everywhere that 2%, 3%, you're not going to see that.
Never coming
So
back.
if you're waiting for the 5%, the 4%, just go for it. And when it hits that, refinance. You'll be happy. You will get what you want. You will sell the property you're in. You'll move on to your next stage and bite the bullet. Yeah, is your monthly payment going to be a little bit higher now? Sure. Will you be happier in wherever that is that you're going?
Yeah.
Probably.
And you buy high, you sell high. You buy low, you sell low. So it kind of all evens out anyway. I'd had a client who thought it would be a very smart move to wait, sell first because the market was doing fabulously in that moment, but then wait to buy. And they ended up in a rental, almost a $6,000 rental for almost a year, all that money down the drain. And then the next time they were finally ready to buy and felt the push to buy, the market had picked up even more. Inventory was much lower. Things were selling and trading for much higher. And I think they just shot themselves in the foot. So I think, it always balances out either way. So if the market's great and you're selling really high, you'll probably buy high, but, it kind of balances out.
I just go to happiness. Like, what's that worth in terms of your emotional health and where you want to be in life? Like, if what you're buying next is going to make you happy, then that's the right move.
That's a great way to put it. And then Fall feels like a safe time to sell for a lot of people. That's what they think. But are there any hidden risks to waiting until then, other than what you've already mentioned?
I mean, it's safe in terms of it's calmed down. Everyone's back, right? So the kids are back in school. Everyone's back to work. There's no big vacations going on. So you feel like, oh, everyone's around and it should be relatively busy. So safe, yes. It's still kind of nice weather, so people tend to be out on the weekends. Open houses go pretty well, usually. I think the unsafe is just, we don't know what fall brings. Like, we don't know what the market's gonna be like in fall. We know what is happening right now. We know that buyers are out and they're serious. Fall, hopefully, maybe.
And then I have a story in relation to that, like, talking about someone who sold in June versus someone who sold in October, or September, waited till the fall. I had a client who put their house on the market in early May, early to mid-May, and we received a bunch of offers, but they were not happy with what they were getting at the time, and they thought, okay, let's wait. And we rode out the summer, waited, and then she listed again in the fall and ended up taking $25,000 less than what they were gonna get in the spring market or the summer market even. So I would say, sell now if you have to. And the fall market can go any different direction. Not to say that it can be great, but we never know.
Right. You want to sell when the buyers are out. You want competition. You want multiple people interested in your home, and you want a lot of people through the front door, and you just want that. That is what gets you the highest price as a seller, is a lot of people wanting your place.
Yeah. And, people think that the market kind of makes or breaks the sale, but that's not true. It's a lot of strategy, it's a lot of marketing, which we do really, really best. And maybe you can talk a little bit about that, how we do so much to make sure you get the most amount of money. And it's not just the market, it's many, many different factors and many different things that we put into that equation.
There are a million different things that we do start to finish, starting with your home to market it. I mean, the way that it looks, the way that it feels when people walk in the door, staging, decluttering, that's sort of the first part, and then photographs, video, 3D walkthrough tours, and then talking to our colleagues at other brokerages, sending your home to people in New York, other parts of New Jersey, Brooklyn, just getting sort of the previews out there.
Target advertising,
Zillow, Realtor.com, our partners on the internet. It's maximizing your visibility. It's launching on the right day. Don't launch on a Friday. That doesn't give people enough time to make weekend plans to come to your open house or make appointments. You want to launch on a Wednesday night or a Thursday so that there's enough time for people to see it, get interested. It boils down to everything from the way your place looks to timing.
Yeah, all that makes such a huge difference, and that's what we do best. And then for someone watching who isn't ready to list tomorrow, what should they be doing right now to prepare?
The first thing is declutter.
Exactly.
Declutter. I tell people all the time, if you're selling your place and you're moving, pretend today that you are moving now. Start packing. Start packing
purging.
Stuff up. Start packing things that you are not going to touch in the next 6 months. Start packing kids' toys that you don't need in the next 6 months. Start packing books. Start packing stuff on coffee tables, countertops, appliances you never use. Just start to declutter. Start to, the reality is we want your place sort of half empty.
Yeah, almost like an Airbnb. Kind of like that.
Everyone's walked into a staged home. You know what a staged home looks like.
Yeah.
It looks almost like nobody lives there.
Yeah, but they kind of live there, but they don't, And that's what we are always aiming for. And then the other thing that you can do is get a handyman and do those minor fixes if it bulbs out. All those little details matter.
All that stuff that you know about your house that you have been trying to think about fixing and getting done for the last year.
Do it now.
The chip in the paint on the wall, the key that doesn't work,
a door that doesn't close
the stair
properly.
that squeaks, all that stuff that you know about your home, everyone is going to find that stuff out when they come through your home. So you get it done before you list.
And all that makes a huge difference. You'll spend a penny, but you'll make $1.
Yeah, you don't want buyers walking through focused on a squeaky stair. You want them focused on them thinking about how they're going to feel living in your home.
Yeah, and it has to be move-in ready. And now we're in a kind of a market where everything that's move-in ready is selling like a hot piece of cake, whereas everything else is kind of sitting. So it's even more important to make everything perfect.
All right, one thing you really do need to do to get ready if you're thinking about selling and you're going to sell soon is paint. I know that you love green and purple and orange and yellow and red, and I know you love every color of your room a different color. You know who doesn't? Everyone else.
Buyers.
Right. So a nice shade of cream, a good light gray, just give the whole house a fresh coat, take away all that personality. I know, it's sad, but the smoother, more modern, more easy it is for someone to walk in and just feel like they could turn this into a blank canvas.
That's exactly what it is.
You want, it's no longer your home. Think about it. Now think about it from someone new's perspective. Blank canvas.
Blank canvas is exactly what it is, because people might come in and put their own touches to it, but they don't want to see someone else's personality. They want to see it as a blank canvas, come in and then picture themselves living in there. And that's where, also take away personal pictures.
Take away personal pictures. So it's not your wedding photo, that you want their wedding photo in their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take those away. And then brings us to our final question. And it's a little personal. So if you were selling your home this summer, what would you do?
I would, if I was selling my home this summer, okay, so I actually think about this all the time because I'm one of those real estate agents who thinks about selling my home constantly. So the first thing I have to do is I have to get my roof deck together. I mean, it's been like the worst weather, and my roof deck is amazing, and it will look so good, but it just doesn't right now. Something like that is incredible. Plant flowers, clean it up, power wash it, get it all nice and shiny. If you have outdoor space, that is incredible in our market, and you want it to look amazing.
Yeah, summer's the time to make it amazing, and that's where it's on top of everybody's minds. Put those flowers, like you said, landscape, power wash, make it pretty, make everything pretty. Yeah.
If you have a garage, clean it out. Put stuff in bins, make it look neat and organized, make it look clean, like sweep it. All of that stuff makes such a huge difference to someone walking through. They think the place is just really well taken care of. And again, like just sort of move-in ready. So all the cleanups, all the touch-ups, all everything. Yeah. I also, if I was going to sell right now, and this is really crazy, but I would personally change my floors. It's not for everyone. I know it's a big deal. It's daunting, but unfortunately, I live in one of those apartments where they put in like cookie cutter engineered hardwood floors, and I just don't think they're special at all. I think if you walked into my apartment the way it is now with amazing oak floors, it would totally change the look of my apartment. I bet someone would pay a lot more just for that look. Yeah. But that's a lot of work.
If I were to sell, I would literally change everything. There's so much I want to do.
She has already changed everything, so.
Yeah, I've moved 4 times in 10 years. If I even mention it to my husband, he will probably murder me.
You're never moving again.
It's not going to happen. Something else that I would do if I were to sell this summer would be call an expert. I truly believe professionals are professionals for a reason, and we need to rely on them. And that's what we do. So call us or dump your questions in the chat, and we'd be happy to answer them. We love to have a glass of wine. So invite us over. We'd be happy to help you with your next move.
I think it's important. The first thing you kind of want to do is, figure out what the real value of your home is. And, you might think your home is worth a certain amount, but we'll tell you. We'll come over, have a look, tell you what it is right now. And, if you put a paint of coat on the walls, and if you cleaned it up and decluttered it, and if you cleaned out the garage and you got the roof deck looking amazing, it might be worth $50,000 more. So if we can see that in person, we can figure that out.
Yeah, so call us. And that concludes our summer seller webinar. Hit us up if you have any other questions. We'd be happy to help.
Thanks for joining.